Me and Matt have been having way too many discussions and debates on Plat Chat, so we decided to take it out to the backyard, to the playground, and
To the arena.
to the arena, and scrap it out 1v1. I'm sure the rest of the Plat Chat crew will wrestle in this format as well. It is a new, small, not long form debate show podcast thing coming at you from Plat Chat. Head to head. The first topic is, I think, a controversial one, Matt. It's May. She's always controversial. We've been begging for her to be banned for weeks now. I think everyone's on the same kind of wavelength. Nori the cat finally did what we couldn't, and banned May. But even then, I mean, May in the most recent PTR notes has had a bit of a nerf. But the question is, has she actually been nerfed hard enough to be kind of not the dominant pick?
So I think the nerf is good. I'm not sure if it's enough. I think like the adjustments that they made, right, with reducing her overall ammo size is to reduce the multi-freeze side to side, which is obviously annoying, just like the rest of May's kit. But it's really like the wall and the self-heal, like just the sustainability of May combined with her damage, which is really the issue. Like, you could have left the multi-freeze and the ammo and the right-click fall off and how much that costs the same if you would have adjusted the wall and the self-heal more. I don't think they went hard enough on the two things that really make her oppressive, which is splitting the team off and then also getting her weak and she hits shift and instantly becomes invulnerable. I think those are the two things that should have been targeted.
Yeah, I've heard this conversation also from, like, Jaws, for example, has the same opinion where he believes that you can't really nerf May unless you just get rid of her wall, which might seem like a bit of hyperbole, but that seems to be a belief that's around a lot of people. I don't think you can do that. I don't think you can change her wall that much. It's already been nerfed massively, in my opinion, to the point where you've seen it in matches recently where a wall goes up and it just gets burst down immediately if there's any kind of reasonable DPS on the other side. And I feel like the wall is such a fundamental part of what makes May that you can't really tweak it anymore. So I feel for the developers, honestly, because they want to try and make her still feel like the same character. But these tweaks to her numbers, I don't think they're going to do a thing.
No, you can put these characters in the same boat in terms of balance. Bastion, Torbjorn, May. Those three characters, nobody wants to see them be. Nobody wants to see them be good. They're just annoying characters. If you remember when Bastion got that ridiculous buff where he basically became like Soldier 76, but with like a permanent nano boost. He could heal himself through dragon blades, like he just like heal himself. Like that wasn't fun. That didn't last long at all. Like Torb, well, I mean, thank God Torb's never really been that good.
Dude,
so
Torb isn't that bad. Torb's pretty good.
Not that bad. Right now, Torb's probably the best.
I mean, I disagree with you completely here. I actually loved watching Torbjorn be played in the Overwatch League. I think pirate ship compositions people got really hyped for when they played on Junkertown, and May as well. Like when I used to watch people pull out May back in the day, you know, like when May. She was a niche pick.
You like people playing May.
I used to like May, Matt. I used to like May because she was a niche pick, and so there was some value to seeing her. It was like, oh shit, they've got some kind of specialist strat. Like she'd come out on Hanamura and it'd be like, oh, how are they going to deal with this? When May's in all the time, that's when she's a pain in the ass. And I think that comes down to how her freeze works, honestly. So the primary fire increase, where she can't just spam her freeze all the time, is all right. But just get rid of the multi-freeze aspect. Get rid of the hardcore CC that she has when people are frozen, and she'll go a bit of a way to being less oppressive.
Like the point of Blizzard is so that the Blizzard can have a large area multi-freeze. She can literally do the same thing, but in a cone directly in front of her for an extended period of time. Like, at least if you got rid of multi-freeze, then you make Blizzard a little bit more special. I personally I find her to be the most annoying. I can concede, like, keep the wall like where it is. I think the wall is like what separates like really good May players from bad May players. I think it's maybe her shift, her ice block that needs to be looked at. Like maybe she's in it for too long. She regens too much health in it. Maybe
it's the cleanse. I mean, I will totally agree with you here as well, Matt, because the fact that she can be purpled and then just get inside her little igloo and just regenerates all the way back up like Pingu, just straight back to full health, newt, and she's off on the races again. That is ridiculous.
Shit needs to go. I mean, look at How many other characters have self heal? 76 with like the field.
Don't even don't even call the biotic field a self heal. It is useless. When people talk to me about, hey, do you want to play Soldier 76 and heal us a little bit more? I'm like, bro, are you living in 1923 when the amount of healing in the game was so minimal that Soldier was considered some kind of off healer?
But she's the only one who can become completely invulnerable. Like even fucking Baptiste, he throws his little fucking thing out there and you can kill it. Like and that makes loads of people invulnerable. She can make herself invulnerable and self-heal basically to full HP. Like come on, bro.
Yeah,
get rid of.
I will say though, I actually think that May's on the way out anyway, and this might be a bit of a hot take considering that May has been played still quite a lot, enough to be banned as well. But I think now that May is out of the hero pools, and now that the teams have an opportunity to try and test a bunch of stuff without May in anyway, and once we get Lucio back in the pool as well, so that people can actually maneuver around and get the fuck away from her, I think that this might be the end of May. I think her May wall being broken that quickly, people are already figuring out that it isn't as viable anymore. Because if the May wall goes down and you can't kill the person you've separated before the May wall disappears, I mean, you have essentially picked a useless hero.
Yeah, like Hanzo in a way also. Like, if Hanzo is good, it makes it very difficult for May because the Storm Arrows plus the wall decrease makes it pretty easy to get through, especially like some Reinhardt damage or whatnot. Yeah, I just hate everything else about her. I mean, though the wall is fine, but I mean, good. It goes against like. I almost would rather. This is gonna be a take that probably not a lot of other people agree with, but I'm gonna say it anyway because that's what I do here. I just say how I feel. The wall should not be an ability for a damage dealer. The wall should be an ability for somebody like a support. Like it's not like a damage dealing ability. Like the damage dealer should really be focused. Like you can't give damage dealers so much utility that now they've become like, oh well, why the fuck should we play a tank? Let's just play fucking May. She's a damage dealer plus a tank, and she can split the other team up. Like the damage dealers should have little bits of utility and like be all about damage, and then the stuff like wall and other things should be reserved for people like supports. Like that's where I think like that's where we run into every problem in Overwatch with a hero. It's because they get too much shit, and then they're everything.
We say this in the dawn of Echo as well, before she has even been unleashed upon the game.
Who literally takes other people's shit, and like Sigma, right? It was like, oh man, Defense Matrix is too OP. What do? Well, let's give a guy Defense Matrix, but I said on my stream today, I was like, oh, maybe how ridiculous would it be if Defense Matrix healed you as Diva? And then somebody was like, isn't that Sigma? And I was like, yeah, that is actually Sigma. like we're in a spot where like you can't give, like May is a perfect example of, as soon as she became even that much strong, she became like she rose right away. It's because the damage dealers have too much utility, I think.
I will say as well, and I know that I keep harping on about it, and I feel like I'm just screaming into the void at this point. This was one of the problems with 222, is that previously you could just play triple DPS and a May would get fisted. There's just nothing you can do. Like, what does that May wall do? It does absolutely nothing. But you can't play triple DPS anymore. So there's like one of the strongest counters to May of playing high DPS combos from like all around the map. You just can't play anymore.
And look at the damage dealers you don't see get played anymore, like a ton, right? Like when was the last time we saw Genji, right? And that's because Genji doesn't have a ton of utility that can help like a whole team. Like he just brings damage, right? And his abilities help him do damage. Same thing with kind of Doomfist, right? Doomfist needed to become OP as hell again to get back into the game. It's because you have so many damage dealers that can do so many different things at like a high level. That's why Hanzo was getting a ton of play, because you can use a Sonic Hour to see where people are. You have one button that can just burst to anybody down. The dragon is like a big moving May wall, right? Like it just goes on through, splits people off. Like that's why you see some of these damage dealers get play, because they have so much utility for the whole team. It kind of puts some of the other ones out of business. I mean, my poor boy 76 been sitting on the sideline for so long because everybody else has so much other cool stuff.
Yeah.
All
I
he
tried
can
to
do
make sure. I tried to absolutely put a bullet in the back of his head. I took Soldier 76 out back. I pulled him out 3 times from the random selection.
If anyone thinks May's not overpowered, just look at May and Soldier. May can put a wall up to split the other team. She can slow multiple people at once. She has no fall off damage with her right click. Her shift can heal her and make her invulnerable, and her ultimate can freeze everybody around her. Poor Soldier, his shift is to just go a little bit faster. That's it. That's all he brings.
Right,
He go a little bit quicker.
But I will say that the reason that I'm not like, I don't want to kill May into the ground particularly is because I think that May relies on the whole, because she is such a team play oriented hero, she relies on all the rest of the heroes that play well with her to also be at like a high state. If the game was dive, like if the only suitable tanks or suitable playstyle was like very highly mobile, if that became the meta again, that people were playing mobile compositions, I mean, May is useless. She is just a turtle sat on the floor. She can't move fast around. She has no utility for that style of play. So I think that the May's been incredible because everybody has been playing these kind of double shieldy heroes. The tanks have been so powerful recently. But as we start to deviate away from that, with May wall being nerfed, with the shields themselves being nerfed, with the tanks also getting nerfs, and hit scan and more mobile things starting to come into the forefront a bit more, I think that May will just naturally kind of disappear away from the zeitgeist, even though she individually is a very powerful hero.
I honestly, I think she's gonna still be around, and I think she's still gonna be a nuisance. And I think it all kind of depends on what they do with hero pools, right? I mean, that relies a lot on who gets played, what gets played. Yeah, I mean, who the hell knows? Bring that cat back, but she's gonna be good. Like, she's still gonna be good even with these nerfs. I don't know if the nerfs are heavy-handed enough to push her out completely.
All right, you know what I'd love to see, actually? You know what would absolutely solve May?
What?
You know when she goes into her ice block form, the cryogenic heal or whatever it's called? Yep. I just want that to have a certain amount of damage, and you can break it. So it's like an egg. It's like a little safe cocoon, but if you do enough damage, you just kill her. It just shatters into pieces, and she dies.
I was telling my stream today what I wanted to see was Michael Chu come back and write a storyline where May goes to like Reaper's squad, like Blackwatch, and they like Moira like fucks her up with some of her scientist shit, and she becomes like Pyro from TF2, and we give her a flamethrower and we change her completely, and we give her a flamethrower and we get rid of the wall and we make May good again, dude.
So what you're saying as well, though, is that we should balance our heroes based on their lore narratives. That we should have like kind of arcs. So like as May gets evil, the entire storyline of the game revolves around how May is being balanced. I actually love that. I think that's a genius idea. Get yourself on the dev team.
Let's rework May by making her a villain. She's already the villain. We may as well just lean into it, dude. Imagine Overwatch 2 comes out and Winston is like, who's doing this shit? And May just starts lighting them up with a flamethrower. Sign me up for that. I don't play single player stuff. I'll play that.
Yeah, that sounds pretty good. I'm actually, you know what? You've convinced me. I'm in. Make May a villain.
Give May a flamethrower.
All right. What did you guys think? People in the comments section, who do you agree with? Do you think May's been nerfed hard enough? Do you think she's still going to be good? Or have you been mildly convinced by all the people playing Dive this weekend that she's going to disappear? Let us know and stick around for another head-to-head. We'll be battling again shortly because Lord knows I disagree with this man on almost everything he says.
A lot.